everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. It's still so weird doing this without music. We'll hopefully get my Blackwater Station intro music back before too long. But for the meantime, it still weirds me out a little bit. But welcome, everybody. And look who's with us, the Chris Army.
Hey,
Chris Newberg. Hey, Chris, how are you? Garrett's here as well. Hi, Chris.
Are we streaming live?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Balls. Penis.
Whoa.
You're going to get us banned everywhere.
Why can you swear on a live internet?
Of course. What do you use Restream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You love it?
I do.
Yeah. You look, you're so close to the camera.
It's like FaceTiming your parents.
I want to see all the stuff in the background. There you go.
Is that better?
Okay, you got Motor City shirt on. That feels more like Chris Newberg.
Yeah, I got all the stuff on.
God, that beard, it feels like it grew 6 inches since I talked to you a week ago.
Well, right now it has an erection, so it's normally not this tall.
Yeah. I'm looking at, and I just know how young you look in that poster. Is that the Tonight Show?
Yeah.
When you were on the Tonight Show?
Yep.
That was Leno, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So how you been, buddy?
Good. I'm stepping in today. I'm part of the TDC. I'm the C in TDC.
Yes, you are. It's good to have you here. I sent you a text and was just like, yeah, what anything going on in the world that you'd like to talk about? And you sent me a list of things. Some I was familiar with, some I wasn't.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get into those. I'm kind of interested. Ballerina Farm was on your list.
It is.
Couch fucking.
Yep.
Baseball is going to have AI. Umpires, Lions, Deadpool. I did see Deadpool. Did you see it?
I thought it was so great.
Did you?
Yeah.
I did too.
I cried a little bit at the end.
Same. Really?
Yeah, I cried a little bit.
I'm trying to remember which part would have made you cry.
The end, when it was like, whatever the closing statement was, when you, something to the extent of, when you set out to save somebody, they just might end up saving you. I mean, it's pretty basic writer tricks, but I thought it was cool. I was like,
what did you say? Pretty basic what? Writer trick? Yeah.
I mean, it's a kind of a simple, it's like, it didn't suck until it sucked. Like, it's just an easy sort of hook. Or a button.
Dude, I know there's people bitching about all the gay jokes.
Were there?
What's that?
Were there a lot? I didn't even notice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of them. I thought it was just funny as shit. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I literally was laughing during a movie.
It was funny.
Yeah. It was really funny. I'd love to know how much input Ryan Reynolds has, because it has such a Ryan Reynolds feel, that character.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he has the majority of the input.
Really?
Absolutely.
Unlike, so what do you think? Like touching up jokes that fit him, or?
I wouldn't be surprised if in the moment he does a lot of his own just riffing.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows his voice. It's the same voice. That character is written in the exact same voice as Van Wilder.
Yeah.
And with his character from Waiting and everything that he's ever been in. So it's like, it doesn't seem very hard to just keep doing himself.
I'm just now, I was before we started here, I was watching X-Men, the first one with Jennifer Lawrence playing the blue chick.
I don't watch X-Men stuff. Do you put the
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. Sorry.
I'm literally just starting now, and I'm glad I watched the first 1.5 movies before I saw this, because I didn't even know what Wolverine. I mean, I knew the guy with claws, but I didn't know any of the backstory. Mm-hmm. And so I felt a little more in touch with that movie just because I'd seen a little bit. But they're 25 years coming up on 25 years old now. So okay. I kind of skipped ahead a little bit to the newer trilogy, I guess.
Yeah. It's great. When you watch, it's famously known that when you watch football on occasion, you'll wear a full suit of pads and the uniform.
It's not true.
Is it like that with X-Men? I mean, do you have an X-Men costume on when you're watching?
You're an asshole. You know that. So I did that once, and it was the 2010 2010 Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I did this when my Giants were in the World Series. They were 3 out of 6 years they were in. Mm-hmm. And the last one being the shittiest one when they played the Tigers and swept them. I hated that one. But before that, I'm a Giants fan. I'm a Niners fan, Lions fan, Tigers fan. But I got in full dress for the Giants at one point. Was wearing.
Didn't you do San Francisco as well?
Yeah. The San Francisco Giants baseball when they were in the World Series, and then the 49ers. I did that as well. And basically just for a picture. I mean, just looking to post something online. I didn't stay that way the whole game, but I do as a collector. I like that stuff. So I have like full like pads, pants, jersey, like the real deal, like from the team.
I love you said that you just did it once and like you've listed now 9 times.
I listed two. The Super Bowl in 2010 and then the World Series might have been the same year, actually.
Oh, wait a second. You wore a full suit, a full baseball suit while watching a baseball game?
Yeah.
With the socks and everything else?
Socks and everything. Cleats. I wore fucking cleats, dude. And then I'm the same guy who'll go, what an asshole to someone that paints their face. You know what I mean? And be like, what a dork.
You had cleats on in your living room.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I did it actually. I did it during I was playing the video games got really good and you were able to use the handle remote and like actually be in the batter's box. And so I put full dress on for that and was like playing the hot corner with a glove.
You're playing Wii Sports?
Yeah, I was playing it wasn't Wii though. It was PlayStation 1. So it was much better graphics.
Hilarious.
Yeah. You've never done anything like that, Chris, at all?
I've never. I mean, maybe when I was 7. Put like maybe, but I don't know that I did.
To me, therein lies the joke, though. Like therein lies the joke. Like it was funny to me, like a grown man wearing this outfit, like a child would do. That's what made for a funny post. I'm sure people can go find it on Facebook or something.
First off, it's the greatest thing in the world. I'm not making fun of you. I mean,
yes, you are. You made fun of me for years. Don't backtrack that now.
It's entertaining. It's without question entertaining. Just imagining you like sitting in front of your television because you woke up that day. Like you woke up that day and you were like, you had everything laid out. Yeah. You had the cleats. And like, were they metal screw-in cleats, or were they like the rubber cleats?
No, because I don't. No, they weren't metal. Because the cleats that I wore would have been ones that I wore in adult softball leagues, and those are banned. I don't think you're allowed to wear metal cleats in those leagues.
Okay, so you had legalized cleats,
but it's important to note too. I will say, I would never wear baseball cleats with my football uniform. Like they better be baseball cleats. Like I wouldn't fuck around and put like football cleats on with my baseball uniform. That would be inauthentic.
Or turf shoes. You would never put on turf shoes in a situation like that.
No.
Not just, but you did you wear the stirrups as well as the socks?
Yeah.
You had stirrups on. Okay.
I believe so. Yeah. And I mean, it's going back. You're going back 15 years. I think I might have even had eye black. I don't remember, but I wouldn't put it past me at one of those.
Did you have a little slippery stuff on the lid of your brim of your cap?
No, I wasn't trying to cheat. Come on, let's I'm a pro, okay?
Yeah.
Did you do anything like so this was a very special season for the Detroit Lions this last year, made it to the championship game. Should have beat the 49ers and gone on to the Super Bowl. Came down to a few plays and things not going their way and blew it. Did you do anything different that day? Because it's a much different game in the championship than it is week 2 in September. Did you lay anything out? Did you wear anything? Were you going all Lions gear all the time leading up to it? Because it's kind of similar.
I mean, I think I probably had my Detroit Lions make me drink shirt on because it's in my brain my favorite lucky shirt. I think I don't think I had a Lions hat on. For the majority of the games, I went to Saddle Ranch or Sadness Ranch, as I call it, and I watched the games there with buddies. But
is that a Lions bar there? Or is it just a bar that shows all the games?
Tourist bar that shows all the games. It's like there's a bar near us that's a Ravens bar where they're just bananas.
Yeah, I've got a Steelers bar here in Cave Creek. Yeah, I've gone in there. It's good food. It's a place called Harold's in downtown Cave Creek, and they've got terrible towels you can buy in there, like all the Pittsburgh Steeler gear. It's apparently where any Steelers fan that's migrated west can go and hang out. So,
do they sell any of Roethlisberger's DNA?
No,
they don't have that.
I don't think so. They should have a Roethlisberger on the menu, though.
That would make sense.
Wouldn't that be a missed opportunity if they didn't have a Roethlisberger? Yeah, it's just extra mayo.
Sure, and with a side of Terry Bradslaw, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, there you go. See, I love the fact that you appreciate wordplay. Jay used to give me so much shit about wordplay. It's critical for joke writers.
You know who hates wordplay is Joel McHale. Hates it.
Yeah,
hates it. Like if I ever come up with anything, he's just like, get out.
Do you know Joel?
I've host produced him on 3 shows.
Really?
Yeah, he's great. Like he's really.
Wait, doesn't he do shit tons of wordplay? Isn't that what Joel McHale did on the Soup and stuff?
Maybe on the Soup. Maybe that's why he doesn't do it anymore. But
yeah,
he's really great with jokes. If you write a joke that he likes, he praises you like crazy, and he uses it. But he does not like any pun or wordplay at all.
I love if it's a good pun. You know, I don't know. That's just me. What do they say? That's the lowest form of humor, or it's a high sign of humor? I can't remember.
I don't know. I think a lot of people who can't do it insult it all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Are you excited? Are you excited for this upcoming football season? This is not where I was going to start, but we're here, so whatever. You excited as a Lions fan in Southern California?
Yeah, I got I still have the Sunday ticket.
Yeah,
but I would imagine this year there's probably going to be more national Lions games because they are so liked now.
Yes,
that's what I think.
Yeah. Dude, we are literally 24 hours away from the first preseason game. It can't get here fast enough for me. It really can't. So tomorrow night we've got the Texans and Chicago Bears. So we'll get to see the kid from Southern Cal, Caleb Williams. I'm assuming he'll play a little bit, right?
Sure. It's going to be boring. He's nowhere near. They're nowhere near ready.
No. You just throw him out there nowadays, though. These rookies, he'll be in by week 6 probably.
Do you think he's like Black Harrington? Like everybody, because you think he's gonna be like the savior, but not really in the same sort of way.
See, I didn't think that about Harrington.
Everybody thought that about Harrington. Really,
Joey Harrington? I didn't.
Wasn't he drafted number 1?
Oh, for sure. But pack quarterbacks to me. You've got like Aikman did well. The lefty, number 8, did pretty well in Jacksonville. But a lot of those guys flamed out. I think of Ryan Leaf and guys like that never, or Mariota, guys like that just sucked. What's that?
Leaf was a drug addict.
So?
I'm saying that's why he didn't do well.
Well, maybe. I haven't heard that.
You haven't heard it? It was famous. He was like a famous druggie.
Okay. What was he taking?
Coke.
Really? During
I'm pretty sure.
NFL?
I don't. Yeah, I'm going to double check it, but I'm pretty sure that's why.
Yeah, I knew guys that were doing blow and playing in the league.
You did?
Yep.
You knew. Well, is it? Is it rampant?
I'm sorry. Well, plenty of them were doing it.
Really?
What? Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd see them, and they knew the NFL gave them plenty of warning before testing and stuff, which is why it was always like you got to be really deep to get caught by the league in their drug seeking, because they warn those guys. I don't know if they still do. So you got to be pretty sloppy to get caught on a test.
I apologize, Ryan Leaf. After according.
I was just going to say, chat was about to say this too.
He was addicted to opioids. He lost all his money and even resorted to, wait for it, raiding houses for pills.
Yeah, I've heard that. Dude, yeah. I love that story. Look, man, I've been there. Not raiding houses, but I know all about it. It's serious shit. I get it. I love the story from Matthew Perry. that he tells in his memoir that just came out a couple of years ago about going and like looking at houses in LA, like as if he was going to buy them, and then raiding people's medicine cabinets. Because they're like, yeah, Chandler from Friends is not going to steal pills out of my. So everybody just trusted him to like walk through their house. And it could get pretty dark, pretty deep, pretty quick. So, that doesn't surprise me with Ryan Leaf. So many of those guys, many of them get hooked on that stuff. I mean, they had back in the day, guys on the team would tell me that they had mason jars of that shit. And you just grab a handful on your way out the door.
Just pain pills for the game.
Yeah, like whatever it took to get you on the field was cool. And so they would literally have handfuls they just grab and kind of walk out with. How much of that is reality, I don't know. But, I mean, guys in the league told me that. So for what it's worth.
I heard a funny, not Chandler, Matthew Perry story the other day. So it was on a podcast. It was on Conan's. And Lisa Kudrow was talking about the fountain scene. Yeah. At the beginning. And she said we shot it for 12 hours or several hours. Was
that in LA or New York?
It's in Burbank. It was near it's on the Warner Brothers lot, which is off of Olive. So
was that a lot meant to look like New York City or something? Because
the whole show was shot, I think, in LA. I'm pretty sure the whole show was shot here. But then again, I thought Ryan Leaf was on coke. So let's just consider the source. But she was talking, and she was saying that they were shooting. They were miserable. They were like pruned. It was terrible. They kept
freezing.
having to be in it. And then the director goes, "All right, we're going to go again." And Matthew Perry goes, "Oh, you're going to go again? We're going to go again. I don't remember a time when I haven't been in this fountain." And apparently the whole cast broke, and that was the take. After 12 hours, they got on the last
with
take.
them laughing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's
funny.
Did you like that show?
I loved it. I thought it was.
I did too.
I think the show, the one where no one's ready, is perfect comedy. It's a perfect comedy show. It was when they were all in the room.
Yeah.
They were all in the room. They never left the room. It was when Joey had when Ross
getting
had
dressed.
A speech. Yeah.
And for the wedding or whatever it was.
Ross's speech. It was so great.
Ross's speech. Yeah.
That was perfect.
Is that the one when Joey comes in wearing all the clothes? Could I be wearing any more clothes?
Yep. That's the one.
Yeah. Great scene. Great ensemble cast. I mean, and it totally holds up. Yeah. I got into a kick, I don't know, 2 years ago. Little known fact, but for fans of the Drew and Mike show, I was the when we would do Stump the Staff, I was the Friends expert.
Nice.
So Mark and I were the Simpsons expert and maybe Seinfeld, but Friends. And so people would try to stump the staff, and they counted on me to know what was going on with Friends. So I absolutely loved that show. I thought it was fantastic, and I'm glad it holds up. So does Seinfeld. They're, just awesome shows. I wonder if it'd be fun to write on a show like that, or if the pressure would just be outrageous.
On a show like Seinfeld or Friends, or well, or The Simpsons, basically. Also, do you know how that works with the writing staff?
No.
Okay, so let's say there's a writing staff of like 5 or 10. Let's say there's 10. Each writer is assigned an episode. So you're given like every writer contributes to one of the scripts. But let's say, there's four scripts. Garrett gets one, I get one, Mike gets one, and they're all 4 of us. I'll go home and I'll write usually for pretty much every show on TV.
Okay.
Like the showrunner will assign the episode. So like everybody will storyboard everything. Everybody will be in the writer's room. Everybody will talk. And then they'll be like, okay, well, this is the story for this one. In episode 1, Chandler gets stuck in an ATM machine with Jill Goodacre. And then the lights go off in the whole city. Mike, you're going to write that one. So then you go off and you write that one. And then all of a sudden we have a table read. And we have a table read and we see what works. And so like the characters read the lines, everybody contributes, then they leave, and all the other writers, the 2 of us would make notes, like constantly make notes the entire time. This is a possible punch up for this joke. This is a possible punch up for this joke. So even if the whole screenplay or like the whole like half hour is gutted, like if we use like 10% of your shit, you still get written by and created by because you're the one who was assigned to it. So it'd be written by you, even though it was written by several.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting. You got to think that there are superstars in the writing room where it's like every time that guy does an episode, it's awesome.
Absolutely. And then there's even more superstars who are just people who are paid to come in and punch up movies. Ghostwriters who never get credited, who just get fat amounts of money.
Really? So that does pay well?
Oh, yeah. Like, I think Dana Gould was one of the most famous ghostwriters in Hollywood for TV and for movies. He would just punch up everything.
Really? Now, why wouldn't that be credited? I mean, you look at the credits in a movie like Deadpool, it's 10 minutes long of just credit. Why wouldn't you have jokes punched up by J. Chris Newberg, for instance?
Because it's a lot more valuable to look like you're the one who did it. You can still make way more money. That's one less person you have to pay. Like, because even like, let's say, I don't know how much Deadpool made this weekend, but wasn't it a lot of money?
200 million?
Sure. Let's say you give a guy, you say, all right, we want you to punch up the whole script and you have 30 days to do it. Here's $2 million. Great. That's signed, sealed, done. You don't have to pay on back end or points on the thing for credits or credited by and residuals and all of those other things. Because you just paid it and bought it out. Sort of like in the same way that Seeger bought Old Time Rock and Roll. He just bought it from a dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if anyone else has a writing credit, but it's very known. It's been talked about.
Yeah. Points seem very valuable on a project. I don't know how many people know how that works.
Yeah.
Like back end I mean, that's where people bank on themselves. Like, this is going to be a hit. I'll pick up on the back end.
Yeah. I mean, it's so tough to call. I mean, think about remember right after Oppenheimer and Barbie came out, everybody in the world was like, movies are back. Movies are going to be great. But the only reason Barbie and Oppenheimer worked was because it was an event. People were like, oh, are you going to go see Oppenheimer or are you going to go see Barbie? And then they were competing with each other. And it was right around the time of the Academy Awards. So it was an event. And then after that, what was the big movie that came out? The Stuntman movie with Ryan Gosling that just
Fall
tanked.
Guy?
Yeah, just tanked.
Yeah, I almost rented that the other day. Is it awful?
I didn't see it.
No.
I wanted to.
You didn't even see it?
I didn't even see it, though. I meant to see it, and I just didn't.
Yeah. Interesting. So I'm glad to hear you love Deadpool. I did too. Did you have any issue with it, or were you? Because sounds like coming in like me. You didn't watch. You didn't read the comics. I'm assuming you didn't watch the X-Men movies. That's how I was.
No, I didn't. I mean, I figured I was able to figure it out. Pretty soon. But I mean, I watch movies for popcorn. Like, I love popcorn.
Me too.
And that's why I go to movies, and I'll be on my phone. I'll be in the back row. I'm not bothering anybody, and I'll just be playing a game and kind of watching and eating my popcorn. But I saw the first one in Singapore when I was on tour with Russell, and I thought it was so innovative and original, and how they kept breaking the fourth wall. And I thought the female lead was so beautiful. And
I don't know her name, but yeah, she's great.
Yeah, so I was all in, and then I don't know. I think I saw the second one, and I was like, that's fine.
I love the second one. Loved it. Yeah.
Sure, but superhero stuff for me is like yawn. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, 100%. Like, dude, it's always driven me nuts. The over CGI, the 20-minute fight seems so lazy to me. Where you're punching a guy through building after building after building after building, and then you elbow him in the nose and they go down.
Right.
And you're like, okay, it's like the car chase scene in a movie to me. Like, okay, where's the fucking fast forward button? Like, it's one thing when you go back to Bullet and nobody had ever done that and filmed the chase scene and cutting through San Francisco, and it's like, wow, we've seen it all and we know what you can do with CGI. It's just, and Deadpool was like, yes, it had those fight scenes, but they were creative, a little bit different, and so funny. And
very funny.
The fourth wall break, just brilliant.
And the blonde, and not the blonde, the bald lady was so pretty.
Yo, in the new one, yeah.
Yeah, she was great. And with her, this stuff and that stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. And the kill scene with Chris. Oh, fucking just cool. Great. Fantastic. So good. Yeah, I'll be quiet about it, but I probably said too much. Going back to the NFL really quick.
Yeah.
Some new technologies in the NFL. You mentioned in your notes baseball Were you talking about the tech features there, like AI, like getting rid of umpires?
Yeah, they're going to get rid of home plate umpires.
Yeah, they should.
In the minor leagues, in a lot of minor leagues, they already have it. So it's like if you want to challenge a play, they give you an answer in like less than a second.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff.
I mean, they've got to be. There can't be any hint of impropriety. Like it's almost got to be perfect where everyone agrees. And that was instant replay. That was the thing. Like when they were originally doing that, their seller was take 50 drunk fans in a bar and they all agree with something.
Sure.
Like that was the standard. And I don't think we've gotten there. I think it's so much better than just human beings making, judgment calls. It's not perfect, but you got to think with something like that where you've got a strike zone that everyone can agree on. That's not very subjective in baseball. It just makes sense that you get the goofy guy out of there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like that more, or if there's so many purists in baseball, that's they struggle with that. It's like, don't mess with our game. That's the way it is.
I mean, I think I'm all for making it better. I mean, constantly making it better. Football's always improved and always become better. It's just easier to watch with a pitch clock. It's easier to enjoy when it's faster. I mean, it's just, why wouldn't, if there's a way to make a more consistent umpire call, why wouldn't everyone want to do that?
Well, no one has seemed to have a problem historically when it's like, oh yeah, they've got a so-and-so umping today and he's got a wide strike zone. And you're like, okay, you're a little bit outside the corners and it's a strike to him. And you're like,
right.
It's weird and you never know, but everybody knows that feeling of like getting fucked on a call, a critical moment, and you get rung up on strike 3 that should have been ball 4. Like we all know that feeling. If you can eliminate that, I suppose that's a good thing. We'll see. I think in football, it just makes sense. Like Jay and I used to talk all the time about like these guys spotting a ball, like it becomes critical in the fourth quarter and it's fourth and, depending on where they spot it. And then there's a pile up and no one really knows. And just some guy grabs the ball. He gets it sort of close, but he's not really. Right. It's like grid the fucking field, chip the ball. And then we don't, it knows as far as the ball went, it knows where it is on the field. You set it down. Like, it sounds like that's where they're finally going to go with this.
Well, do you watch the XFL?
I didn't. Not for any particular reason. I had a lot going on this last year for sure. So
but I think the way they ref those games is going to be the future of the way they ref NFL games.
Yeah. Well, that league is, I believe, owned in part by the NFL. And I think they use that as a training ground for more radical changes. It's like, So like if they change kickoff rules, they're like, well, let's see how it looks in the XFL. Let's put it into play and see how it looks. And then, eventually maybe transfer that over to the NFL. Yeah.
It was just because they're making like the referees more visible. The replay booth, it's like, oh, let's go to Dean in the replay booth. And it's like, Dean Landino or whatever his name is, something similar.
Blandino.
Blandino.
Yeah, you were very close. Very close, Chris.
It was a good guess. It was good
but
guess.
You were way closer on that than you were on Ryan Leaf Cokehead.
Hey, man, I walked my statement back. I walked it back.
Yes, you did not smear him.
Nope, he and I are still close. So like, let's go to Dean Blandino, and Dean's in a sweater. He's got a soda, and he's just like, he's got 6 different screens. He's like, well, here's what's going on this one, and you can definitely see that it's not going to be whatever. And then he talks in real time to the umpire or the referee, and the referee's like,
I have seen that.
And I think that's the way it's going to be because it's incredibly accurate. They've got digital cameras. They've got several different angles. It seems to work.
Well, it never made sense when they tried to not have instant replay in baseball, for instance, because there was a day when we didn't have high def, we didn't have 4K, we didn't have 50 cameras on the field at all times. You had 4 giant cameras and they got what they got and it was good enough. Like when we were little kids, it was good enough, but you couldn't zero into a blade of grass on the field and tell where a toe tapped or not. You just couldn't. And now we have the technology to do that. And baseball was still hanging around with, like, no, the ump made the call. He was out at first or he was safe. And you're like, not even fucking close, dude. And we saw with Armando Galarraga, I believe, the perfect game was a good example of that,
Well, I think that it's not because now gambling is such a bigger business. And I think that there's more necessity to have absolute proof because of all the more gambling, because of all the prop bets. I mean, like there was never prop bets to the level of now. I mean, it's like it's just you can bet on almost anything. Like, so they need to be sure. And I mean, I think there's a lot of big sports that are kind of scripted. It sort of feels like, especially when it comes to certain betting things.
Yeah.
Just feels like it.
I think that would be such a conspiracy. Like, I haven't even gone down that rabbit hole. I try to stay out of the conspiracy stuff, but I know that's a big talking point. Like Twitter loves that one.
Twitter hates everything.
Yeah, Twitter hates everything, including gay jokes and Deadpool. But they really think the NFL is rigged. I just don't know how you would do it unless, I mean, if you did it on a scale, like if there's a memo that goes out, and even players in the league joke about it. But I mean, I can see why the league would want Mahomes in the Super Bowl or Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, like their biggest stars. You don't want Seattle in the Super Bowl or Cincinnati. Like, you understand, you want major markets, you want LeBron in the finals.
Absolutely.
But I don't know how they could literally do that. I just don't. I don't think people are that good.
I don't know. I mean, you can, I don't really have any theories, but like, it's probably the NFL's wet dream already to have the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, because I would be surprised. I don't know the numbers, obviously, but they were up 1 billion times more because of Taylor Swift's fans.
Oh,
1 billion
100%.
times more. And you can always also tell how effective it was by every time you say to a man, Taylor Swift saved the NFL. You can like see their flesh melt off their face.
Yeah.
It's just popularity.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I get why they, and if you're a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs, you would love that, But
the Chiefs friends I have, they think it's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah. Which part that Taylor Swift? Yeah, of course. It's like New England fans.
Yeah, but they had a good run. I mean, like when
22 years.
They had a great run. Yeah, is that how long Brady played?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So the longest Detroit. Well, we didn't have it bad growing up. I mean, we had that Red Wing window. Yeah. And then we had that Bad Boys window.
Yep. And we had the 84 Tigers. We had the mid 2000s, 2010, or 2006 to 2000 whatever Tigers that were so fun every year. Mm-hmm. Should have beat the Cardinals in the World Series.
Yeah.
And never finished it. But God, dude, those runs went deep into October. They were so fun to watch. Yeah. No doubt. The Lions, I don't know about you. What's your favorite sport? Is it football or you more baseball?
I went to a Dodgers game the other day, and I got to be honest, I loved it. But yeah, I loved it for a weird reason. But I'll answer that in a second. Not that it matters, but I love football. I love football. Football's great. It's fun to watch, and I love basketball. Yeah. I could watch basketball for hours.
Yeah, not me, but I get it. Yeah, my team has to be doing well for me to give a shit about basketball.
And in fairness, you usually lived in Michigan, and you would probably have gotten cold in your living room with like a tank top on and the shorts and the knee socks.
Exactly.
You're dressing up in the stuff. No, the reason I love baseball. Let's see. Oh my God, what is this? Oh wait, that's for me. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out the stuff. Hold on, I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
So the reason I loved more than anything the Dodger game the other day, like having me, like Detroit tattoo, Michigan guy, Michigan everything, Detroit everything. I've lived out here since for like 21 years now, I think.
Yeah.
I was driving on the 101. I was in like LA traffic. On the radio, one of these Nights by the Eagles came on, like the most California band in the world.
With Detroit connections. Yeah.
With Detroit, with Glenn Fry connections.
Yep.
And then I was at a Dodgers game and I was watching I was like, fuck, I live in LA. This is great. I was like, I had a Dodger hat on and I had a hot dog. I had a good time and it was really cool.
You had a Dodger dog.
I had a Dodger dog. Yeah. Because I had a choice of a regular one or a Dodger dog. And I've now been to
I don't know the difference, but isn't that their thing, Dodger dogs?
It's longer.
Yeah.
It's just longer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I have the same feeling when I go to a baseball party. Like, it's not even close. Like, my favorite sport. It is NFL football. It's not NCAA football. It's not any other brand of football. It's NFL football is number one and everything else is miles below it. But I don't want anything to do with going to an NFL stadium. I've gone to a couple 49er games. I've been to tons of Lions games. If it's a new stadium I've never been to, cool, maybe I'll check that out. But I don't want, like, I want to watch it on TV with replays and with the announcers like that. But baseball, there is, like, dude, I went to San Diego to a game and getting that feeling, or even Comerica Park. I love Comerica Park. Going there on a warm summer evening and sitting down, having a fucking stadium dog, like, nothing better. Because you don't really need the announcers to follow the game. And no, there's not many intricate rules that apply when you're watching. Like, anybody can do it. You don't even need to be a fan of baseball. Yeah. Just enjoy the skyline and the warm weather. It's awesome. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that some of the things that make me laugh musically I've been to 3 stadiums this year. I've been to the Tiger Stadium when I threw out the first pitch. I was at a Toronto game and I was at the Dodgers game. So 3 stadiums, which is
that's all you've been to
this year.
Just this year. Okay.
And the thing that makes me laugh every time, it'll never not make me laugh, is the walk-up music for a batter.
Yeah.
Like, really, dude? You need 4 seconds of Enter Sandman?
Yeah.
That's what's going to get you going?
Yeah. It's kind of fun. But if you give kids a chance to pick, their song, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
I would.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Dude, it's the same thing with basketball where the home team gets the ball and all of a sudden they're playing fucking some hardcore rap song. They take a shot and then all of a sudden it's like crickets for the opposing team going back the other way. Yeah. You're like, this is just so absurd. It's so absurd. But, whatever. All right, Gary, you got a question for Chris?
Yeah, $2 from John Skimpy Halloween Hand. J. Chris Newberg, what's the process of writing for a reality or a game show?
Well, it's different. Reality show, like scripted reality, and reality game show. Game show is just pretty much questions. So it's just like, for example, I'm currently on Hollywood Squares, so I have to write between 6 and 10 questions a day, and I'm also the joke guy on the show. So basically what I'll have to do is just
Are those separate gigs, by the way, where you get paid for both of those aspects?
No, it's one thing. And I'm literally on this one, I'm brought on mostly for my joke skill set. I'm not a great question writer by any means.
Call me, I'll give them to you. I got you covered.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. And so I just have to, from the beginning to the end, come up with 6 questions. Then I have to be able to provide information to show that they're pinnable or provable. I have to come up with 6 bluffs, then 2 jokes for each ones for joke answers. And then as far as when you're coming up if you're writing on, like, let's say on The Chase, when I was on The Chase, which was an ABC show, and Ken Jennings was on that before he was hosting Jeopardy, I would get all the information of the contestants. The contestants would have information pieces or bullet points that were given to them by casting, and it'd be on these sheets. And then from the sheets, I would have to try to come up with funny things or jokes or talking points based on their bullet points, and then give those to talent. And then when it's a competitive show, you basically have to figure out how you're going to get story from point A to point B. And that could be anything. I hope that was a good answer.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so. I would worry that I would get writer's block in something. Like there would be a day where I'm just looking at the sheet and looking at the, is it a show outline of some sort, and just be like, fuck, I got nothing, man. I got nothing today.
That, when you're hired to write for that purpose, you don't have that as an option.
I know.
The other day I had to do 180 jokes that were punch-ups, 180, and I had 28 hours to get it in. So I started, and you start strong because it's like you just do. And then I got tired and I started hitting a wall, and there was a bunch that I couldn't come up with jokes for. So I forced myself to finish all of them, like all 180. Probably took me 2 hours, 3 hours to get through all of them. And then I walked away from it for like 10 hours, and I went back to see what I was trying to do, or to get, then I was able to get different hints. And the ones that worked, I didn't touch. So then I was able to get it done. But yeah, I miss the days when you could just have writer's block and be like, I guess I don't have to write today.
Yeah. So what happens if you did get writer's block and you're like, dude, I got to 75 of the 180. I don't know what to tell you.
It's never happened. I've worked too hard to put myself in a position to not ever have that happen. Yeah. It's what I'm trained at. I trained myself for the past 20 years writing a joke an hour on Facebook, writing a joke for a post every hour, and then writing a different joke on Twitter.
Oh, I know. It's irritating as shit as a friend of yours to get.
Sure it is.
If you just text Chris like, hey, what time is blah, 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 he'll come back and he'll go, by the way, what do you think of this? Like, how can you not? And I'm kidding. It's not annoying at all. It's an honor, but yeah, dude, I see it in just general friend texts with you, like all the time. You always do it. You'll ask like, hey, what do you think of this premise? Or is this funny? Is this on the right track? Yeah. You do that shit I imagine you do that to everybody in your life.
All the time. Yeah. Cause it's just what I would love to do. And it's my livelihood.
Yeah.
I went on stage yesterday and I just did only new jokes. And I just read them. I thought it was great. Yeah. And I had
Where'd
5
you perform?
minutes. I went to the Laugh Factory, and I went to the open mic at the Laugh Factory.
What?
And yeah, because it was during the day. I'm doing Kansas
Which
City.
one did you do? Long Beach or
no, Hollywood?
Hollywood. Okay.
Hollywood's like a block from where I live. And so I had 6 jokes I wanted to try. It's so hard. There's so many comedians now. There's so many comedians out here. It's really challenging to get a spot. And I still get stuff on the road. So I have 4 1-hour sets coming up in Kansas City. And I have my new hour that's pretty much done. But there was a bunch of jokes I wanted to try. So I just went up there and I tried them and I got them all to work.
Yeah. So is the new hour, are you playing into what's going on in the world at all? Or do you try to keep it evergreen as you can so that it holds?
You mean, do I lean into politics?
Well, or like a show like mine typically focuses on a lot of topical news.
Sure.
And while you can make that work in a comedy set, you can call back to like, I don't know if you remember this story. Like comics do it and make it work, but it's very, very hard to be daily topical or especially politics. That shit just never ages well.
I did 2 political jokes yesterday, one on each side, neither of which had any sort of political leaning. The first one was, in fairness, it was a pretty attractive couch. Like that was the joke. And like, so just that it's like, and a lot of people will be like, he didn't fuck the couch. He fucked the couch, but regardless, in fairness. Hot.
Yeah. Do you have any problem with that? Cause I did this story the other day about the couch fucking. Yep. And I said at the time that we did the story, this will get legs, period. It's irrelevant that it never happened. And I think it's kind of the place that it came from that I took issue with. Like literally some random douche on Twitter made it up, made it up, came up with pages that he apparently wrote it in his book, Hillbilly Elegy. Never happened. And that should just go into the ether. Some random douchebag wrote that. Maybe he was trying to be funny or what. Those usually get ignored, but it got fact checked by the AP. And the AP's fact check said exactly, he never fucked a couch. And as soon as I read it, I was like, okay, I see what you did there. what their fact check should have been was he never even said he fucked the couch. This is bullshit. If you were even going to bother wasting your time with that fact check, they didn't. They knew what they were doing. It's out there on the Associated Press that this was in discussion somewhere, that he that he put a latex glove between a cushion and fucked the cushion. And
so wait a second, did he allegedly fuck the couch, or did he finger bang the couch allegedly?
No, he allegedly fucked it. That apparently rando guy on X, that was his claim, that he put a latex glove in the couch cushion and then banged it. Now, I will say this. I don't think it's that fucking weird, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of fucking teenage boys who have fucked the couch over the years.
Sure. Why wouldn't you? I'm sure a lot of like fucked stuffed animals. You just put a little slash in the gator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They make eye contact with you with those button eyes.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I never did anything like that. I was actually, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I never jacked off as a kid. Ever. Okay. Like it's weird. Nobody believes me. It's fucking true. Never.
I believe it. I didn't do it either. I didn't do it until I was an adult.
26 years old for me. First time.
22, 23.
Are you serious? You're the first person I've met that will say that.
Well, I used to do pretty good with the ladies.
I was going to say, I started banging chicks when I was 15.
Yeah, same. I wouldn't say banging chicks, but I started nailing broads. That sounds
there you
like
go.
More
Sorry,
like my language.
I didn't mean. I drag you down to such a level when you honor us and grace us with your presence, Chris. Hey, I have a tendency to do that and say like insensitive things like banging chicks when I should have said nailing broads. I apologize. I stand corrected.
No, I had the same thought that you did. I was active enough to where, like, first I was raised by two women, so I never had a birds and the bees chat. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So
did you have a birds and a birds chat or something? Or?
No, it was a couple of bees.
It was a couple of bees.
Hey, no. The very first time I ejaculated, I thought I peed on her.
Really?
I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. I was like,
was it 15, the best feeling whiz you ever took?
It was just like one of those things where like, gosh, this is going back like 30 plus years ago. Yeah. So I would say no, not 30, but like 25, 20, like a long time ago. And I just remember going, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let's do that again. Like, am I a terrible person? Oh my God.
Do you remember your first time where you were? What it was? Who it was with? Yeah. Anything 100%. Special about it?
No, I wrote a song about it. I almost want to grab my guitar.
I was going to say, go grab your guitar. Do you remember it?
Yeah. It's really. Give me one second.
Yeah. Do you remember your first time, Garrett?
Oh, no, I wasn't going to say that. I mean, I grew up in the age of the internet, so I have no part in this.
Yeah.
But I did want to say Ed Grabo made a really funny comment. Fadey's couch is such a slut.
That's true. Fadey's couch would be a whore.
Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ed. Ed probably loves this, and I want to be fair about it because I feel like this is so unfair in politics. So much is unfair to begin with, but at the same time, I've made the Big Mike references forever, and I don't really think Michelle Obama is like a dude. So in fairness, it does go both ways with kind of
the way I put it too. It's
I'd rather
they fuck a couch than a kid. So
yeah,
the way everything's going in
I'll agree with that. All right, Chris, this is a song based on your first time.
Yeah, this was a song called "How I Lost My Virginity." It was I remember it like it was yesterday, my very first sexual encounter. I was 15, she was 15, we both wanted to be romantic, so we did it in my parents' laundry room closet. And I remember she said things like, ow, that's not it, no, ow, ow, wait, no, that's an exit, no, wait a second, oh, you're done already? Do you have a towel? Gross.
That's great. When did you write that? Did you write that shortly after, or?
I think I wrote that in my comedy when I first started doing comedy. That was a song that almost made it on the first record, but did not.
Really? Who made that call? You?
Me.
Yeah.
But the song makes me laugh.
So could I ask you about when you started comedy? Because you were in a successful band that was touring around the country. Mm-hmm. Successful is a loose term. I understand that. But any band that is touring around the country is doing something right. and you open for a lot of critically acclaimed artists, especially in America and big venues. I don't know if you want to name any of those bands, but feel free.
Oh no, we toured with Mellencamp and we performed with Oasis and fucking Foghat. Like
Oasis had to be fun.
That was fun.
I love that band.
That was cool. And then it was just a different time. Like had we had social media then, we would have blown up. We would have been huge, but we didn't have any of that stuff. And it was just like trying to get your song on a college radio station was a big deal, and realizing after the fact that college radio stations have no audience. So the playlist was one person making a playlist.
Yeah, so, unless you're REM, I don't know anybody else that exploded through college radio. Exactly. REM was like, I guess there's a few underground bands, alternative bands that were kind of darlings of college radio, but I knew guys that were working in college radio when I was in Lansing. I lived with a couple guys that were, trying to do radio at their college radio station, and fucking nobody was listening. Nobody.
Right, not a chance.
No one. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe it was better in some markets, but
I mean, it was something like a lot of bands who were successful had a completely different experience than I did. Like I remember I was the band Shimmer. Fuel. The band Fuel.
Fuel, great. They Sponge plays with them a lot still.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's where I saw Brett with Sponge at the Whiskey.
Okay.
The last time they were there.
Do me a favor. Let me know next time Sponge is coming to the Whiskey if you see it and I don't, because I'll definitely drive over and meet you there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I got to introduce him by myself this time. It was pretty cool. It was fun.
Yeah, last time I had some asshole there that was making jokes that went over my head.
They loved it. I made some great jokes this time. But I remember, so it was it was a long time ago. We were on tour. We did like a West Coast tour, and we went and we drove and we did all across the country. And then we had 3 shows in LA at the Dragonfly, at the Viper Room, and the Mint. And when we were at the Viper Room, it was us, Tina Yothers band, whatever they were called, like Jaded or something.
Yeah.
And then
Tina Yothers, famous for Family Ties. She was the youngest.
They headlined.
Yeah, I remember him.
They were like a ska band. And
dude, that place was fucking awesome too. The Viper.
Back in the day.
What a cool. I mean, it's tiny, intimate. Yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. So there was Fuel did their check, and I was like absolutely not impressed because they just got out of a camper, and I wasn't like cocky, but I was just like, oh, that's a good band, whatever. So we went first, and then the guys in the band were super friendly, and they were like, we liked your show and whatever, and stick around and watch. And we're like, yeah. So they go on, and they weren't the band at soundcheck. They were Fuel of Fuel. And and at the end, they were like, this last song is a song that we're releasing as a single tomorrow. If you want, we have CD singles of it. We'll give it out to you. Feel free to stick around. And then they played Shimmer. And I was like, holy fuck. And then literally we got the CD, and on the way home over the tour, Shimmer was fucking everywhere. And when I ran into Brett at the Whiskey, 20 plus years later, I was like, I know you don't remember this. And I told him the story, and he goes, you're right. I don't remember that.
Yeah, why would he?
He's like, but I remember that show. And I was like, that's good enough. And I got a picture with him.
That night?
Yeah.
Dude, I was at the Viper one night, and it would have been in the days when the Counting Crows lead singer was bartending and shit.
Yeah.
I believe I saw Leif Garrett's band there.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Isn't he dead?
I don't know if he's dead or not. I didn't that's his celebrity predates me as a kid. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't really familiar with him until Behind the Music on Leif Garrett came out, and that was fucking bananas. Seeing the story, but yeah, he was kind of fucked up, and I hung out with him that night. We got pretty hammered, and he was like, dude, I'm having a barbecue tomorrow at the house. You got to be there, blah, blah, blah. And then gave me his cell number. And I texted the next day, let's do this barbecue. It was so LA. And then it was just never heard from the dude again. And,
That's so funny. I would like to just say for the record, I guess I have only comments on people with the name Leaf in their name.
Yeah.
Because Leaf Garrett and Ryan Leaf. I could just,
Yeah.
I might have dead named Leaf Garrett. He might be alive.
He's alive.
He's alive.
Yeah, I pulled it up.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Well, the couch fucking incident. Yeah. What did you think? What do you think of that? Do you think that's fair game? And hey, if someone's a public figure,
absolutely.
What was go ahead.
No, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say, even if something is whole cloth bullshit, is it still fair game in your opinion?
Yes. Help me out with, well, based on the current climate of politics and what everybody's doing. Yeah, absolutely. What was the thing that and it was and I know you know what I'm talking about. It was in New York City where I'm sorry to get close. I'm sorry to get like your parents.
No, you're fine.
It was in New York City, and there were these people who were arrested for allegedly assaulting police officers, and there was like a name for it. It was like.
You talking about the Hamas thing, or are you talking not in DC? You're talking about New York.
New York, 2 New York police officers, and then all of a sudden, everybody in the Republican campaign has been talking about, and it's something to do with, it's not foreigners, but it's something to do with like illegal? John Oliver. It's something to do with like we want no, I can't think of it. I'm so fucking mad. But anyways. I constantly heard the phrase that it was like something to do with nationals or something, or foreign nationals or so. It's not it, but it was like a buzzword in the Republican Party, and they were talking about it, and you would see different Republicans. They mentioned it several times at the Republican convention, whatever.
Yeah, if you assault a police officer, that's going to be a talking point, 100%.
But they basically broke the story down, and it was like these people didn't assault the police officers. The police officers. Like the police officer got really pissed because he told her, one of the guys said that the police officer looked like Ugly Betty. And like they ended up arresting 2 people who weren't even involved in the fight, who kept them in jail still. And it was this really great thing that Oliver did. And it was all bullshit. And it was all bullshit based on.
You talking about John Oliver?
John Oliver. Yeah. He broke the story. And it was next time I'm on the show, I'll tell you what it was. So I don't sound like such a moron.
No, it's fine.
Be able to back it up. But once I was like, oh, okay, and then nobody cares and nobody gets upset about that. Yeah, couch fucking is totally fair game. Absolutely. Yeah. Why not? I mean, and it's just like, what do you think about the cat lady stuff?
The cat lady, I went on this show and I said, it's just fucking dumb. Now, here's that comment was made 3 years ago, okay, on Tucker Carlson's show back when he was on Fox. And he was talking specifically about AOC, Pete Buttigieg, and one other. And it's like these who?
I think it was
Kamala Harris. Yeah, that all people that never had kids of their own, and is like, what's with this fucking party of weirdo, like cat ladies, whatever. And I said, it's just dumb. People think he said that now, like, wow, that's a weird way to launch your campaign. You come out and shit all over fucking women who didn't have kids. Like, that's odd. It's like, no, it's just rehashed from 3 years ago, which is fair game. I don't have a problem with that. And I think it's really fucking dumb for someone to be in that place. I think JD Vance, is a decent person who grew up with really tough circumstances, went into the Marines right out of high school, and then put himself through Yale Law School. Like, it's an impressive fucking life story. So to whittle someone down to like, oh, he's the guy, like, that kind of sucks, but that's politics. That's what it is. And I think for someone like him, he's smart enough to know, like, dude, there's no positive that comes out of, because there's myriad reasons why some women can't have children, and you just insulted them. And there's a lot of women who are going to come to those women's defense and think you're just an asshole, an insensitive asshole. And so I don't know, like, if you think you're playing to a base, you already have them. So you need middle of the road, normal, center right, center left people that don't pay that much attention. And they're bombarded with headlines saying, here's a guy who just shit all over women. And it's like, I don't know how that helps you, bud. That ain't going to fucking help.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I mean, it's not going to be. It doesn't appear to be very fact based. It's just like mudslinging and who get the most like. It doesn't matter if you say something horrific about either candidate as long as you get like 62,000 likes.
Yeah,
that's all. That seems to be much more important than anything else.
We live in a world that we didn't live in before social media. And I think we're still all kind of adjusting to like how that works. How does that work with older generations that didn't grow up with it and they keep stepping in shit, not realizing, going viral. Like we see all kinds of problems with this, and media hasn't figured out how to do this. Like some random guy would have had to write a letter to a newspaper for it to be picked up. In the old days, you would have literally had to write something out and then take it to a newspaper. They do their due diligence before it's ever where the masses can see it. Now, some random douchebag can invent something out of whole cloth, tweet it, act like, oh yeah, pages 161 through 172 in his memoir, blah, blah, blah. I never thought we'd have a couch fucker in the White. Like, and all of a sudden, it's almost like, well, it's here on my computer. It must be real. Like we're in this weird area where people get way more visibility than they used to. And so, I don't want anybody being censored ever, but it's very hard to decipher what is real and what's not. And we all have a weird way of wanting to like really believe because my team said it, that it's real, or someone who has similar political views that I have, that it's real. Like our team's all on this side and this is what we believe. It sucks. I don't know how it plays it out. I feel like it's going to probably get worse, but there's a lot of people, and not to filibuster this whole thing, Chris, but really mentally unstable that are also, for fuck's sakes, did we lose the stream?
No,
are we okay?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. There's a lot of really unstable people out there. And those people, these types of things, when you gin people up to the wild, this guy's Hitler, or this guy's going to ruin democracy, or this woman wants to release all criminals and let them raid the streets. Like there's an unbalanced amount of people out there that do shit like, I'm going to kill the fucking president. And they're off the deep end. And we keep creating this, we hear about these politicians who get swatted. It's a horrible thing. I have a story today, like swatting. I think most people know what that is, where you call in like there's some horrible child rape scene going on or kidnapping at some politician's house. And, the police respond as if, well, what if someone's being viciously murdered and a slaughter is going on at Marjorie Taylor Greene's house, and They show up and they don't know. Are we walking into an active situation where we don't know what's on the other side of this door? They're in an impossible situation. But when you read this guy in Georgia, who one of the stories I had today threatened Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I'll read you some of the quotes. Okay. These unstable people are getting a lot of air and a lot of air time, and it certainly isn't good. We're going to get more people killed, which sucks. It's kind of the yin and the yang of it all, of what goes on in when you've got a free society that's able to use social media the way we do. But, these deranged people are out there and they're going to take a shot at the president. And, there's some people out there that think it's a good thing. I think it's horrible, on both sides.
Across the board. Wait, go ahead. You're going to read the Georgia stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, because afterwards.
Go ahead, Chris. Feel free to interject.
Okay, so being from Michigan, growing up, back in the day, even at one or two times, performing on the same stage as Kid Rock, watched him blow up, was happy for him. I think Devil Without a Cause is a great record.
It is.
I do not know him personally. I've met him once or twice. Hi, how are you? I was on stage and I made a Red Lobster joke. He laughed. That's our relationship. He's got a lot of made in Detroit clothing that he owns. I purchase it. I like his clothing. I don't care what he does. I like his clothing. There's a couple of things that he has said that make me go, and that's a fact. Just a couple.
But Donald Trump has too.
Sure. He also makes me go, Okay.
Yeah.
So that said, there was a format for a joke, and it was like, blank makes the kind of music for blank people. That was the template.
You
and it
totally
was
get it.
any band from anyone.
Yeah.
So I jokingly write, Kid Rock makes the kind of music for guys who like dad jokes, but who refuse to pay child support. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I posted it.
I have a better one for you, by the way. That I heard.
You did.
Kid, let me just spit. I'll spit it out.
Yeah.
While Kid Rock makes music for people who still smoke in their house.
That's funny.
It's fucking, dude. I mean, it hit a little close to home. I'll be honest. It stung a little, but fuck, was it funny?
It's funny.
But go ahead.
Not one part of my joke attacks him personally. Not one part. One part says there's anything bad about dudes who, like, not one person with their wits about them would recognize that I was being serious or it was a factual statement. I'm over 1.6 million, 1.5 million collectively between Twitter and Instagram views and likes and whatever. I have been death threatened. I have been, they've made it about politics. I've gotten more than anything, 27 years I've been with my wife and I've always paid child. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just doing a joke. These people attack me personally. They call me a cuck. They call me gay. They're just saying all this shit about me. They're like, okay, beta man. And I'm like, all I did was write a joke that you disagree with.
Yeah.
And
it's insane.
Based on that, that's how bananas politics is, because it's not logic.
Yeah. It's, if you put Kid Rock in the crosshairs of any joke, that's what you're going to get. And I've tried to tell my audience, like with Eminem, for instance, a hardcore hater of Donald Trump. Just wrote raps about it, gone on. And I'm like, this is a guy who fucking spent multiple songs destroying his own mother. Mm-hmm. Talking about raping and murdering his own fucking wife. Like, this is a guy that, and you cheered it on. You loved it. You bought millions of albums week one. You've supported him in every way possible. Like, who gives a shit if he goes after Donald Trump?
Right.
Who gives a shit?
No
like,
one.
let him. This is a guy. I feel the same way about Kid Rock. That being said, so I think it's tacky. And look, I have friends that are in Kid Rock's band that I know personally, and I love them dearly. They're fucking awesome people. They've done my show. I know I've hung out with them, like lots of them.
I'm sure they're great.
They're fucking awesome. And a lot of them, being honestly, will roll their eyes at a lot of this shit too.
Sure.
They're like, fuck, wake up and they got to check their Twitter to see what the hell happened. Mm-hmm. To me, for guys like that, when you see Kid Rock at the RNC, and it's like Twisted Brown Trucker's not there. You're up there singing to a track and in front of a bunch of fucking political nerds. Like, it's just dorky. It should be beneath you. And I look at it like there's a way to do it and make your point and your message, but it historically won't go well for you. So Bob Dylan made the point he needed to make in Masters of War. It's fucking brilliant. It said everything, but it didn't get down to the level where he had to name individual politicians. That's beneath Bob Dylan. Mm-hmm. Bob Dylan's Masters of War spoke volumes, and the statement was massive. Kid Rock, it seems petty to me when it's like, I'm, putting it out there for Trump and fuck Biden, and you're like, these fucking clowns will be gone in a few years. Dead, probably, too. Like, be better than them. I expect more out of you guys. It's just my thought on it.
He's a famous, wealthy guy with a temper and no repercussions from anything. Like, isn't he now at the height of his popularity after he shot up beer cans?
Yeah.
I mean, literally, he's touring with Nugent now, I guess.
Yeah.
Or they're going to tour.
Yep, and he'll have a base that he can do that forever if he wants. And he, for a long time, I love the way he does it. He's like, I'm going to do a string of home shows, and then My guys are going to be with their families. I'm going to be with my family during the week, and then we'll go out and do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it works for him. He makes plenty of money. The guy's worth well over $100 million, so he can do what he wants. I just think you lose a lot of people. It's his choice to make. He's done right by himself, making the choices and decisions he's made. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why those people wouldn't do it any different. Mm-hmm. I disagree with it, but I'm fucking broke and sitting in a box in Phoenix. Who gives a shit what I think?
It doesn't,
you know what I mean?
It just depends on what wave you catch. And like, again, like as you said, I think his first record was great. He's definitely talented kid.
Dude, I think that's underselling it. Rock and Roll Jesus, American Badass. Like, dude, there are some great with a lot of cuts on those albums that are fabulous.
I'm joking, but I'm not saying that it stopped on the first record. I'm saying the first record was more consistent to me than the rest. Just my opinion, but he's had some hits. Yeah.
And I don't even give a shit about the hits. Usually those are my least favorite songs are an artist's hits.
I like Jackson, Mississippi. I admit it.
Yeah. Oh, fucking great. That whole album is great.
But I'm not wrong in my joke. His fan base are people who are just like probably the fucking worst. And
why?
There's a lot of people who listen to your show who are fans of Kid Rock. I'm not talking about
for sure.
I'm not talking about them.
You're exactly talking about them. What do you mean?
I'm talking about some of them, but some of the fans, when you're at the show, you're just like, wow. There's no way the kids aren't in the car with the windows up. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way that after the show they're making out with their uncle. I mean, but I don't care. Teach their own. If you want to fuck couches, fuck couches.
Yeah. This stuff goes on, and the point I was going to make is that unstable people hear it, believe it, and when you're talking about stable people or people that do a little research and can see through things and understand kind of how politics works, it's one thing. But then you get other people who go off the deep end. This guy in Georgia, Sean Carrillo, 34 years old, whole life ahead of him. Phoned up the Congresswoman's DC office and told the staff he's going to shoot her in the fucking head and kill her. Also told the staff member, I'm going to murder her. I'll kill you too if you want. Your grandchildren are going to fucking die. He said. He pled guilty to a charge of transmitting interstate threats before a district judge in Atlanta. He'll be sentenced later. Threatening to kill a public official is reprehensible. U.S. Attorney Ryan Buchanan of Georgia's Northern District said, our office will not tolerate this form of violence, threats, or intimidation against public officials. So he called and said, I got a bead on her like a sniper rifle. And I'm going to kill her next week. I'm going to murder her. I'm going to shoot her in the fucking head and kill her. Okay. Call the FBI. Okay. I'm going to kill this cunt. Tell her I'll kill you too if you want. The staffer's like, so where are you calling from, sir? I'm calling from fuck yourself, you fucking cunt. Fuck your party. Your grandchildren are going to fucking die. Die, fucking cunt. You
what
fucking
was this during the day?
Yeah. I mean, they were at work, so it was probably 9 to 5.
I have a feeling there might have been some whiskey involved.
Yeah. See, this is where anybody that knows me knows I'm a staunch proponent of free speech.
Sure.
I am
that free speech.
No, I was going to say this is where free speech goes. You do not have free speech to threaten people. Okay. You don't, you never have. And it's always been illegal. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know where this goes. He goes on and on, die, you fucking cunt, blah, blah, blah. So Joseph Morelli of Endicott, New York, was sentenced to 3 months in prison last year after he pled guilty to leaving violent voicemails on Green's office in 22. Green asked the judge, she was like, yeah, I want restitution, $65,000, because I had to put up a security fence. And the judge is like, well, you didn't prove that you put it up solely because of this guy's threats. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how that would work. But the judge threw that out. And there's multiple other cases. And I would say the same thing, regardless of which side of the aisle it's on politically. Like,
you ever been mad enough to threaten somebody?
I have.
You have?
Have you?
Not like actually call them up and threaten them, but I have said some messages to people. I'm like, I probably shouldn't have said that part. Where I was like, I'm fucking next time I see you, something like that.
I can
I've had one of
honestly
those angry moments.
I can honestly say 100% no. I've never left a message. I'm always aware of like they're gonna play this for someone else.
I always apologize too.
I don't leave messages like, oh yeah, man, I want to get up in that vag. Like I'm not gonna leave fucking sexy messages. I'm not that dude. And I'm not gonna be like, you fucking piece of shit, Newberg. I saw what you did. I'm gonna kill you. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, never. It's never gonna happen. I might tell everyone in my orbit, like, oh, fucking kill that son of a bitch when I see him next. But leave it on a voicemail? No. Never. You?
I think back when I was like younger, singler, and drinking heavier, if I had a situation, and women hatey, and like not women hatey, but like frustrated that I didn't have the success with ladies that I wanted. I'm sure I left a.
Dude, stop. You had tons of success with ladies. I know for a fact.
Oh,
don't give me that shit.
I'm not pretending like I didn't, but I also had some times when I didn't. Ego got kind of in the way, and I probably said some stuff. Sure, but I don't think I've ever physically threatened anyone with violence.
I can't imagine you. I've known you for many, many years, and I can't, like, you're one of the last people that I can even imagine threatening someone. I just can't. Like, I've never known you or seen you, and I've stayed with you. You've stayed at my house. I've seen you forever, and I've never seen you even a hint of something. That would literally shock me if someone said, you wouldn't believe the message Newberg left me. Yeah, drunk, high, whatever. Like, no.
No, even when I was drunk and high all the time, I was just still nice. But even like last night, I was talking to Michelle and I was like, what if right now I took a knife and I stabbed you, you fell over backwards, you hit your head, but the fireman that came in ended up saving your life and you guys got married and he was worth $2 million. Would you be mad at me?
Wait, why would the fireman be worth $2 million?
Because he won the lotto. He won the lotto earlier in the day.
Fine.
And she was just like, yeah, can we just not stab me? And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I'll say silly things like that all the time.
Yeah.
I can totally see your creative mind firing like that, like throwing out fake premises. It's how you get good movies. It's how you get.
It's no different from Eminem. He's not acting any of that shit.
Yeah.
No. And by all accounts, he's a great father.
That's more what I mean. Is I don't act on any of it, but I will call people out and start talking shit. Like I'm gonna.
Yeah,
fight
you're a fucking weirdo, Garrett. You talk shit. You're one of those people.
I like riling people up.
Shit. Don't do it on print, brother. Don't do it on camera or film.
Yeah, it never. Like if you look at a transcript of things you've said, it always never looks good. Context matters so much.
100%.
So much.
What was the other thing that you had? You had another thing that I interrupt. Did I interrupt? Did he insult anybody else?
Who?
The guy on your list of stuff? Like Marjorie Taylor Greene? Like
no, I was moving on past it.
You know, she doesn't strike me as the most like ideal road trip companion. You know, like I don't know that I would really want to like drive from Franklin to Gaylord with her in the car and no radio. That would be tricky.
Yeah.
I would never leave her a message like that.
I know her and Lauren Boebert are, I don't know what their equivalent would be on the left, but they're despised. They're despised by people, and people think they're crazy. Now, Lauren Boebert getting felt up and vaping in a movie theater just looks, entitled and shitty. And then, she's going to try to defend, like, it's just shitty human beings. So it just helps further that narrative. But I thought Marjorie Taylor Greene, some of the things that I've seen of late, like when you're talking about interviewing the FBI directors about the assassination attempt, she's fucking killing it, man. And it's like, unbelievable. Like holding people's feet to the fire. And I love that.
Do you know what, if Lauren bought a Dairy Queen, do you know what it would be named?
No.
I can't believe it's not Bobert.
I can't believe it's not. Yeah.
Yogurt.
I
Bobert.
can't believe it's not yogurt. Bobert. Did you
Come
just make
on.
that up? Did you just make that up?
I've been sitting on it for like a minute. I was like, I got to get this out.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I'm so glad that guy wasn't assassinated. Our world would be insane right now.
Dude,
it would be crazy pants if he was taken out. It would be like civil unrest, madness.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Crazy stuff. I'm sure they would probably try to take out, what's his name, the other dude. It would just be like copycat killings. And then like it's crazy conspiracies.
I don't think it's possible to fully understand what we would be living in right now. I don't think it's possible to comprehend.
No,
and I don't say that lightly. But the amount of shit we would be in it as a country, if that were to have happened, especially the ineptitude of which it happened, dude, we dodged a bullet like you can't believe. I don't give a shit if you fucking love Trump or despise Trump. That would have been catastrophic. I actually pulled an article the other day about like what happens globally, historically, when an assassination happens to someone. It's not good. It's not good. Going back to before Christ, like it doesn't usually go the way you think it is. It leads to world wars. It leads to civil wars. It's horrible.
I wouldn't want to be in Israel today after they took out that Gaza guy.
Yeah.
In Iran. Oh, if you think there's not going to be some fucked up retaliation for that.
Yeah. Well, was he what happened? Like the 12 kids were killed or something?
No, it was separate. It was like
the day before. Wasn't that what that was about?
No, they took out like the Hamas leader while he was in Iran celebrating some election.
Yeah.
They assassinated him.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. I find it hard to follow the story. I don't know the names of the states and the countries involved. And it seems like my entire life they've been at each other's throats. And depending on which friend you're talking to, one will tell you why the other side is shit and the other is perfect and vice versa. And I just don't know enough about them. And they're a fucking ocean away. And I'm just like, yeah, man, I hope they figure it out one day. I don't know what to tell you. I can't focus on it.
It's beautiful over there. I'll tell you that.
Have you been there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I imagine it is.
It's beautiful. It's like tropical and it's an oasis-y.
Where exactly?
Gosh, I've been to Qatar. I've been to Abu Dhabi. I've been to Oman.
Yeah, you're naming the places that everybody says are the fucking greatest.
They're great. Yeah,
awesome.
I haven't been to Israel.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't go. I just haven't been.
How were you received there? Were you touring? I'm assuming you were opening for
Russell.
For Russell over there.
I was fine. What
were you? What kind of venue size would you play there? Anywhere
from 5,000 to 50,000.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's a
50,000 people, and they would laugh at your shit.
Yeah, I mean they're polite. they're like, I mean, it's like you're going cold in front of an arena. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Russell's friend, this guy. You walk out.
Yeah,
and it's just like, okay.
Well, I don't know what like language barriers there are.
Yeah, he's English speaking, so everyone there is English speaking.
Yeah, but cultural references even. Like I don't know.
They get them. They
do.
The only thing that you're not allowed to talk about is religion.
Yeah.
In any capacity. Any capacity. Like
what would they do if you did?
Well, I asked because at the time I don't remember what the terrible joke was, but I had some virgin's joke or something that I wanted to tell for whatever reason, and the person, our liaison, was like, "Whatever you do, don't mention religion in any capacity. We just went through a religious war here. It could be very ugly, and we do our best with metal detectors and bomb sniffing dogs, but we can't make any guarantees. So maybe don't do anything that would be triggering." I was like, well, what if I said whatever? Because
they're like, no.
He's like, there's also snipers in that tower and that tower and that tower who also do their best to upkeep the law, but also have their own opinions about God, etc. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this joke.
Yeah. Do you remember what the joke was?
No, it was terrible. I don't know.
Now it's a drama hobbit.
Yeah. I have no idea what it was, but I just remember it was stupid.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was like, it was probably in my head. It was probably as funny as I can't believe it's not Bobert, but it was super offensive. And I would have told it and it would have been a thud. And then I would have sweat more.
Yeah. That's crazy. Have you ever had other restrictions around different states or different countries?
Yeah, I mean, like colleges are terrible to play. Like colleges now, like my stuff in college, I would do stuff in college that would get applause breaks on television, but they would like boo me off or stop payment on my check.
Like for what? I can't think of anything in your act. I mean, yeah, there's some, I guess they could be perceived as sexist or, on some level, like, but you attack everything.
My special's clean. Like it's clean. Like I don't like all of my stuff is just like, envelope pushy innuendo. I never say it. I get to the line and I turn left. If you guys want to keep going, that's on you.
Yeah. But if you did, women are like, what was it? Oceans.
Oh yeah, the Shark Week thingy.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant. It's multiple stages. You've done it before, tons of times. Like, would that be perceived as like talking about women? Like,
here's an example. The very first viral video that I had on Instagram, which happened about 2 years ago, it was an excerpt from my Tonight Show. And on the Tonight Show, if you go to Google and you look up J. Chris Newberg Tonight Show Vimeo, the biggest laugh that I got to the point where I should have just jumped off stage because it was the biggest laugh I've ever got in my life. And it was a joke that I thought of in the moment. I literally thought of in the moment. It was like, and this was 2011. It was, women are a lot like bacon. They taste amazing. They smell fantastic and they will kill you slowly.
Yeah. Awesome joke.
Great joke. But I had it taken down from Instagram because it was derogatory towards women and it was threatening towards women. But after it was taken down, there's been over 1 million people who have used the audio and they get tons of views for my audio, but I can't have my audio up or my video up. It's the weirdest thing.
So you didn't pull the video, right?
Oh, Instagram pulled it. They said it was threatening. And I'm just like, okay.
Wow. Because you use the word kill? Like,
yeah.
Wow.
But it's just like, it's not about murder. It's about how unhealthy bacon is and how no one cares how unhealthy bacon is.
Everyone should get that. Like, that's just silly.
Yeah, but it was a different time.
Don't you worry, like, those kids that are, I don't even believe they're really offended. I think they're looking for attention. Like, how do I prove my virtue is grander than yours? And they're not really offended. They're just virtue signaling and looking for fucking online points from strangers. And, they eat themselves. It's hypocritical as shit. But these people are graduating colleges and getting jobs. And it's like, what are these nightmares going to be like for the rest of us going for? Like, that is such a tame joke that you said.
Now,
comedy's fucked if that's not allowed to stay on things like platforms like Instagram.
I agree. I mean, but I'm not going to die on that hill. I mean, it's like, whatever. I'll just write another joke.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know, man, I don't like anyone outside of the comic that's delivering it, the performer, having say about what he's going to say or she's going to say with a microphone. I just don't. It's the way I feel. I hate watching it. I fucking hate watching comics attack other comics. Usually they're shitty comics attacking good comics, with virtue. Like, fuck you, man. Do you know, like, I'm asking you, Chris, do you understand the fucking balls it takes to get on a stage in front of strangers and give your opinion for fucking laughs? Do you have any concept of how fucking insane that is? It's insane.
I can't even wrap my head around it.
Dude, I should have been a comic and I'm too big of a pussy to get on the stage. So I do it behind a microphone. Like that, like it is what it is. Like it's the art form I respect the most. It is because it's so naked. It's so like, and I don't want those creative geniuses out there not throwing something against the wall that might absolutely fail. Bombing should be your only fear. Bombing on stage in front of a live audience of strangers should be your only fear. Not that this guy's going to call the comedy club and try to get you to never perform again. Like, what?
I don't care about it. I mean, it's just, I guess you can take anything offensively, and like Ricky Gervais said, it's just because you're offended doesn't necessarily mean that you're right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
no, but they're adamant that they are.
Sure.
Adamant.
I mean, my favorite joke that I have, or it's one of my favorite jokes is, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if like right after, like if you were in the Middle East and there was a suicide bomber and right after someone tweeted, "Oh, okay, boomer." Like I thought that was like, that's funny. But people be like, you're making fun of suicide bombers. No, I'm making a play on boomer.
No, it's a play on it.
Yeah.
So it's what the jester's supposed to do. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear these topics that I wanted to talk about before we get out of here? Not that it's my decision. I'm just basing on the fact that you said it was like 90 minutes.
Yeah. Actually, do you before we do that, we're at 90 minutes. I wanted to, do you know that email with the song we were going to listen to the other day?
I can
see if you could find that, Garrett. I'd love to get Chris's opinion on it, but go ahead. Which topic did you want to talk about? Umpires, Lions, Deadpool. We covered all those. Couch fucking, we covered. Baseball having AI, we covered. The only one we didn't is Ballerina Farm.
So I heard about what Ballerina Farm is today. So Ballerina Farm is an account of an Instagram woman who was a Mormon, and she got a college scholarship to Juilliard where she was going to be a ballerina. While at Juilliard, she meets and falls in love with this billionaire's son, who then gives her an ultimatum. It's like, you stay with me and give up your dancing and come work on my farm, or you do your thing and we're over. And let's see. Okay. I don't understand what that is.
It's the email that I'm going to read.
Okay, got it.
Is this a joke setup you're doing here?
No,
or is this a real story.
No, it's a real story. But it's
she goes. So say that again. She goes to
Juilliard. She's
Juilliard.
A Mormon. She's a Mormon. She tells her parents she wants to go to college. Her parents are like, okay. She gets a college scholarship to Juilliard, the fame school for ballet.
Yep.
She gets to Juilliard. She's killing it. She's doing great. She had a show, meets her husband-to-be, who is the son of a billionaire. I do not know his name or what his father did, but he's loaded. He gives her an ultimatum. Me, after they get whatever, he gives her an ultimatum. It's me or it's over and you go back to doing your ballet stuff. She loves him. She gets pregnant. Okay, so she gets pregnant. They move to a farm. She's got to quit Juilliard. He then gives her 6 babies. She's got 6 kids. They're loaded, but he doesn't help her at all. She has to raise the children herself. She has to do all the farm work herself. Her only dream in life is to go to Greece. She's all excited. So she has this Instagram account where she's telling all of these different people, and all these people are chiming in. They're like, girl, what the fuck? This guy's loaded. Why are you doing all this other stuff? So, and then
once you have the first kid, just fucking hit the road, man. You're done. He's paying for that for life. Whatever.
Take half. And so he's like, honey, it's your birthday. And she's like, oh my God. And this is like live stream on Ballerina Farm. And she's like, oh my God, what is it? And she's like, it's tickets to Greece, you guys. It's tickets to Greece. She opens it up. It's an apron to collect eggs from the farm.
Oh no.
And apparently the guy was like, you're welcome, bitch. I mean, whatever. She was like, and then so she wanted to, here's the topper. She wanted to turn their barn, which is now empty, into a ballet studio where she could teach ballet. And he goes, no, we're going to turn it into a 1-room schoolhouse and you're going to teach all the kids.
All my kids.
So my question is, why is she not getting herself a divorce attorney? Yeah. She could take him to the cleaners.
Yeah.
Go back to dance and do everything.
Hold on though. So he's rich via daddy. Day's the billionaire.
Yeah.
So what does he have?
I don't know. I haven't been able to find that out yet.
You got to be careful if you just divorce him and they lean on like, he makes $50,000 a year as a fucking whatever. His dad's got nothing to do with this.
So she's got to play it out till he gets the inheritance.
Yeah. You better have that locked up that like, he just came into because she'd be mentally challenged if she stuck through that after he got the inheritance. Right. Because, a judge is just going to go, you have everything. These kids are entitled to live the same way at mommy's house as they do at daddy's. Otherwise, the kids are going to play favorites, and that's not fair. Because we've seen that countless times where it's like, oh, rich dad has all the toys and all the fun shit. Mom's in a shit box in, wherever apartment, and the kids don't want to be with mom because it's way more fun over at dad's mansion. So they don't let you do that. So, he's going to have to take care of those 6 kids. So
yeah, I love it. I'm glad we think the same. All right. So what is this song?
Okay. So I got an email, and I want to say this. This is a listener talking about his son's band and was interested to know what we thought. Obviously parents are going to think that their kid's shit is the best. I have not pre-listened to this. I sent it to Garrett and was like, all right, we'll go in blind. But having I believe you have a degree in some form of music theory, Chris, don't you, or something?
Hell no. I've just written songs for a long time.
I
understand music theory.
Yes. So you're a musician that's toured the world. You play on stage with a guitar today. So I thought, well, why not? With Chris here, I've been sitting on this email for a couple days. If you'd like to email the show, walters@detroitcast.com. So I'll read the email. Song critique. This is from a listener named Randy. Mike, glad to see you back. All went well with the move to the new studio. I'm not in the new studio yet, but I am set up over here. Over the years, you've talked about critiquing the drums on songs. My son's band in Charlotte just released a new single and thought you may enjoy it since the drummer is a beast and he's also the singer. It's cool seeing them live. It's like Animal on the drums. They're considered prog rock, progressive rock, but bend the genre like with Texas Toast. It's like prog rock meets country with a little electric violin mixed in by a local artist. Okay. And then he gives a couple songs. One is called Texas Toast. One is called Coming Soon. Loving the show. You and Garrett are doing a little behind on the Raj shows. Yeah. But love that it's not an echo chamber. I listen because of you. Cheers, Randy. Okay. Thank you, Randy. You want to check this out for a second and give me your thoughts, Chris?
Will I be able to hear the music or just the lyrics?
Music.
Oh, no. You'll hear the music.
Oh, cool. I didn't.
I swear if they DMCA us for this, though.
Fast forward. Fast forward.
All right.
So go way ahead and let me find a bridge or something and see. All right, pause it. I think we get the idea. Do you want to hear more, Chris, or do you get the idea?
I want to see where they come out of that.
Okay, yeah, I was kind of feeling that too right before I said that. Go ahead and keep that playing.
Is that electric violin?
must come to an end.
Ooh, a build.
I know something's better than this.
You heard enough?
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Pause it.
Yep.
I take issue with the guys in the picture, Texas Toast, that we're looking at there, not having lit cigars. I would have had lit cigars personally in the promo image.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Chris. Do you want me to go first? Do you want to
go
go
first?
They're talented for sure. Can
Mm-hmm.
play their ass off.
Yep.
I'm not sure the drummer should be the lead singer.
He's got a great voice.
He definitely does. You know, I think Garrett. What did you think?
You know, the drummer's talented. A lot of really good drums. Prog
For
rock
sure.
is one of the hardest things to get into for a drummer. I know that as a fact. I only drummed like Tool and Rush most of the time.
Yeah.
The guitarist, I think that solo was a little lacking. I appreciate he went for it.
See, I liked it. I thought.
No, I heard those notes, and he was slowing down the same kind of like tapping riff, and it's a very simple tapping riff that's kind of been overused since the '80s when Eddie Van Halen did it on Eruption.
Okay.
And he just kind of did it a little faster, a little slower, a little faster. I've heard it too many times. I'm like, oh shit! I kind of know where this is going now.
Okay, Chris, what did you think?
Good.
I thought the kid could sing. I thought they could play. I thought that it sounded good. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on musically with counter melodies and cool harmonics, etc. It was very prog, of course.
Yes.
Prog's not my fave, but they were good at what they do. I would see them. I'm sure they probably rock live. It seemed to be sort of a tricky drum part for him to sing over with a different melody. That was very impressive.
Thinking the same thing, dude.
Yeah.
Thinking the same thing. Like you couldn't record those together, and I wonder how they sound live because there was some. You know, you could tell they recorded that probably.
You could record an album on a phone now. It's so hard.
No,
to say.
I know. I wish the drums were bigger in the mix.
Yeah.
Kid's fucking good as shit. No doubt about it. He's a solid drummer. There's a Geddy Lee-ness to his voice, which some people love, some people not as much. But I mean, Rush speaks for itself, you know, and everybody's opinion is going to be what it is. But yeah, they're good. Randy, thank you for sending it. You know, for sure.
Good luck to them. Good luck. It's very easy to be in a band. It's not hard to make it at all. So good luck.
No, easy future. Dude, they're like 21, 22. Did he say in that email?
Good for them.
World by the balls, dude.
Yeah.
I know it's a little critical, but prog is a very hard genre to get into. So I do applaud them for going for it. And they're not doing bad at all.
Yeah.
I know it's critical in mine. But
one of them has an annoying girlfriend named like Beth that the whole rest of the band hates.
Is that what usually happens?
Yeah.
Like there's one guy that gets too involved with a chick, and then it's like, oh, for fuck's sakes, Dave. She's a pain in the ass. Why are you the only one that doesn't see it?
Why is Amy at practice again?
Yeah, exactly.
See?
What were you going to say, Chris?
I was just going to say, but she's the graphic designer, so
yeah.
You got to let her stay.
I brought my girlfriend to band practice once, and some guys wanted to show off, and then, you know, and then they can't just sit there and listen. They got to fucking, I wish this part was more, and then you're like, oh, go fuck yourself. I want to punch. I want to throw a drumstick at you right now.
You mean exactly what we just did to this band?
Yeah. Hey, they asked our opinion, man.
I think they're great.
When I've brought a chick over to band practice, none of the players there were asking for someone who's never done more than look at a fucking instrument's opinion on what they were playing.
I hope they become huge.
Yeah. And you'll be like, dude, isn't that band we listened to on the TDC podcast back in the day?
And I'll be like, there must be something better than this.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah, of course. We'll maybe talk about doing something tomorrow. I might do a members show tomorrow. It's kind of hard to do members content just because of my current setup, but I feel like putting some in there. So we'll see. I'm kind of on the fence about that.
Just let me know. Like, I'm around. I don't start shooting for a week or two. So if you need someone to step in.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Love you, man.
Love you, brother.
And I'm bummed because my brother's heading to LA tomorrow. I wish I was going. I decided come say hi to you and Michelle, but I'm not making this trip.
That's okay. There's always the next time.
Yeah, we'll do it soon. All right, Garrett. Thank you, buddy. See you, Chris. Thanks, everybody.